seriously, I was leaving the movie theater, and a friend of mine, Danielle, who's works in PR for the studio, we were shaking.
Yeah.
Walked out of the movie theater shaking with this. I mean, I've never expected to see this story told this way. I'm very curious to know was there a particular version of the translation of Homer's original story that you were working from with this? Because I've never seen the women of the Odyssey with such strength and force in their presence. I'm very curious to know how you got there.
Well, a lot of that is casting. And because when I'm looking at the adaptation of the script, a lot of Homer is deceptively simple.
Right.
It's primal, it's simple, it's evocative, and each era, this is the reason it's been obsessed over by people for 3,000 years, each era brings its own set of concerns to it. They interpret it in different ways and everything. And what I found is in trying to make a sort of, I guess I would say, an earthy and a grounded telling of the story.
Yeah.
Which is what I get from the poem, really. It was about, I knew, with Anne Hathaway, for example, taking on Penelope, she's going to want to know everything about this character as a real person, not as a symbol, and it's very open in the poem. There's a lot of ambiguity around Penelope. There's a lot of different ways that could be played, a lot of different layers. But
I mean, even Helen.
Well,
I've never seen Helen played like this. I've never seen some of even like the backstory that was created for Helen.
Yes.
Some of her subtext that was created. I've never seen her portrayed this also
Good. I mean, I think good.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Hopefully be faithful enough. But I did look also to Aeschylus, the Oresteia, so the play Agamemnon as well, for some of the Clytemnestra stuff, the backstory. So there's other influences coming in, but really, I was trying to extrapolate from the text.
Yeah.
So saying, okay, this poem, it gives you a lot of cool ideas and everything, but when you hire Lupita Nyong'o to take it on. I mean, Lupita is one of the most analytical actors I've ever worked with.
Absolutely.
And so you have to know the answer to everything. You have to have it all figured out. And that prompts you to go that extra mile, to dig deeper, to give her the layers to play, because as with Anne, as with, Charlize, playing Calypso, they're not prepared to play these iconic figures, and they create the icon.
Yeah.
But they have to be human beings, and they have to be individuals.
I remember a wife, a son, home.
Ithaca's a kingdom waiting for a king. My dad is coming home.
You're pining for a daddy you didn't even know. Like some sniveling bastard.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
I want to talk to you about some of the phone calls you had to make for this movie. It was just with Hamish and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
And John let me know he got a call with an offer. I had to go to dinner. But I also heard that you called Lupita with the role, right? And that she was like, "Are you serious? You're kidding?" She was floored by the fact that she'd be playing the woman who launched 1,000 ships. That you called Matt, and he was like, yes. He was like, do you want to hear the pitch? But then you get to Robert Pattinson, and Robert's like, well, I can't wait to read it. What was your reaction? She's like, what? Everyone has said yes.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I've worked with him before as well. It's like,
right.
Thanks, pal.
Exactly.
Rob and I, we're old friends at this point. We actually became neighbors in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
And so we have the odd movie night together and stuff and everything.
Seriously?
So, yeah. He's Rob and Suki, wonderful people. And Rob, he's an incredible actor. And anytime I get a chance to work with him, it's great. And I think what goes on with Rob is he's one of the busiest actors working. I mean, all this cast,
I was going to say, nobody in this cast is like just sitting around.
I think with Rob, it's like, all right, let's take a look at the part and see if I can squeeze it in between the Batman and this and everything.
Right.
There's a lot of that going on. He's a very practical guy, but we love working together. We both have a good chuckle together on set.
I mean, you seem to have it down to a science for sure. I am curious to know about the use of what felt like American accents.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like to be a very intentional choice, maybe even a message to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
American accents, or as Americans like to say, no accent.
Right.
Which, no, but I mean, seriously, to me, I didn't want to look back to the Hollywood of the 50s and 60s, where, you know, everyone would speak with what was considered to be an elevated way of speaking.
Yep.
They'd have mid-Atlantic or British accents, whatever. There's no logic to that. And so I didn't want to go back to that era in any way. And so even with the music, for example, we didn't use a romantic era orchestral soundtrack. It's to Ludwig Göransson who's doing the music. You know, we're not doing that with the cast. We're trying to be what I find in the poem, which is earthy and grounded and accessible.
Yeah.
You know, this is a vital, relevant story
Still.
about how people live. Still about how people live, about family, about love and death and war and all these things. You know, so we wanted
And the
to
golden
be,
rule also.
and the golden rule:
ultimately.
treat others as you would be treated,
Yeah.
and how important that was to them. But you realize, no, stunningly relevant. Today,
Stunningly relevant.
Yeah.
And I thought that the use of what felt like an every person in America kind of accent,
Yeah.
right, is that it was no longer this story outside of us. It's a direct reminder to us of like what is really relevant, what is really important right now,
Yeah.
and getting back to that.
Well, a lot of the way people look at the ancient world or the classical world in movies and in culture is to sort of project their own fantasies onto it and to keep it at a remove.
Exactly. This is
So-
them, not me.
For example, when you talk about, you know, academics will talk about how Homer's story was passed down as oral formulaic poetry,
Yep.
which is really fascinating. It's like the idea that bards have just, you know, riffed on this and kind of, you know, freestyled it and everything. But they'll always talk about, like, you know, Yugoslav folk poets from the 1920s or whatever. They don't look at rap. They don't look at a guy like Travis Scott. And that's why I've got Travis
Come on.
in the movie, because it's
Starting
like
the first voice you hear
Right.
is his telling this story. It was
Yeah.
incredible.
When I was thrilled he would come to do it, but he got it immediately. It's like, no, this is how this story's been handed down, and we
Yes.
have that in our culture today.
You have
it's
to
such
tell
an
me.
important part of the culture.
You have to tell me before we leave, and I appreciate it so. Matt Damon, right? I would imagine he was the first one you felt like, I gotta. If we can get Matt, we can finish this story.
Yeah.
We can, right? If we can lock him in early,
Yeah.
we can get a story like this told that we've never been able to tell. I mean, he's an incredible actor, but I feel like he's also a leader on set.
He's a leader, and he's a charismatic movie star. And the thing about a movie star is they have, you know, tremendous skill as an actor, but also the empathetic ability to take an audience into their character and
Yeah.
orient the audience, take them on the journey through his eyes. And Odysseus is a really complex character.
Yes.
He's got a lot of flaws, a lot of interesting things going on with this guy. But you want to just go on the journey with him. And Matt is able to carry the audience sort of through that and let you present a more challenging character. And that's who Odysseus really should be.
I mean, there were days you were probably like, how many push-ups did you do this morning?
Oh, yeah.
But you had to be. This is the best shape he's been in since Born Identity. It's crazy.
He in amazing shape. And I remember very clearly shooting the first scene where we sort of made landfall from a boat, which is quite a hard thing to do. You know, you get him past the surf and you head up to the beach, and I'm like, okay, you got to jump out, you know, point. And you see him, he puts one arm on the rail, just bounds over into the, you know, knee-deep water and strolls up the beach. And then his whole crew has to follow, and they're all falling over. And everyone's, and I'm like, oh, that's a really tough thing to do, actually.
Right?
He makes
There's no way.
He makes it look absolute, like everything. He makes it look effortless. He has so much grace.
Indeed. The best.